Bears fans, you ever get that feeling in your gut? The one where you can almost hear the city holding its breath, waiting for something huge to drop. This is Bears News Fan Report, and I swear the air around Hollis Hall feels thicker, right? Now, like we're standing right on the edge of something that could blow the roof off this season. You can call it a hunch, call it the Chicago wind whispering through the streets. But I'm telling you, something's coming. Could this be the game changer we've been waiting for? Is it possible that Ryan Poles has been playing the long game all along, keeping his cards so close to his chest that even the most tuned-in insiders don't see the full picture yet? And what if the missing piece isn't just about filling a depth chart spot? What if it's about putting the Bears' offense into a position to finally break through the noise and force the league to pay attention? Right now, all eyes are locked on a young receiver who's been turning heads in camp, not just because he can catch the ball, but because he's talking like a man who's already seen the top of the mountain and decided he's climbing higher. The way he works, the way he carries himself, it's almost unsettling, like he's already picturing himself torching DBS in January while snow whips across Soldier Field. But here's the part that gets me. In a city where every yard is earned through blood and bruises, he's not shying away from the pressure. No, he's staring it down, practically daring it to try and break him. And this isn't just rookie hunger anymore. This is sharper, heavier, the kind of energy you only see when a player's starting to figure out how good they can be. You can feel it in the way veterans are talking about him behind closed doors, the little smirks from the coaching staff when his name comes up. They know he's more than a highlight reel waiting to happen. He could be the engine that forces defenses to stretch, to break, to give Justin Fields the room he's never had. Think about it. We've seen flashes of this before. Allen Robinson in his prime, Brandon Marshall at his peak, but always, it seemed like something was missing. A consistent killer instinct. A receiver who doesn't just put up numbers, but changes the way the entire field looks. What if that's exactly what's forming in front of us right now? What if the kid's ceiling isn't just Pro Bowl status, but something bigger, the kind of player who defines an era? From his college days, he was already known for that. Mix of size, speed, and hands that could pull a ball out of a hurricane. But in the NFL, talent is just a ticket in. The real separation comes from the work nobody sees, the film room grind, the off-season chemistry sessions, the willingness to take hits in the middle of the field instead of padding stats on the sideline. And if the whispers coming out of camp are true, that's exactly where this guy's been living. He's been shadowing the vets, soaking in every scrap of wisdom, building a skill set that could make him a nightmare for defensive coordinators from Green Bay to Detroit. He's sharper on his breaks, nastier on contested catches, and starting to read defenses like a quarterback. You put that together with the Bears' growing offensive arsenal, and suddenly the NFC North looks a lot less comfortable for our rivals. But here's the twist, and you know there's always a twist with the Bears. As much as this feels like the rise of a star, it's also the kind of moment where expectations can crush you or make you immortal. Chicago doesn't just want another good player. This city is starving for a weapon who can change games on command, a threat so real that opposing fans feel it in their stomach before kickoff. And the way things are shaping up, that's exactly what Rome Odunze might be becoming. The question is, will he seize it when the lights are brightest, when the wind cuts through Soldier Field like a blade and the season hangs in the balance? Because if he does, well, Bears fans, we might be looking at the start of something we haven't seen in a long time. If you believe the Bears are finally waking up, if you can feel in your bones that this city is ready to roar again, then hit that like button, drop your loudest bear down in the comments, and let's finish what we started. Because the road ahead isn't just about schedules and stats. It's about rewriting the heartbeat of this franchise. And right now, that heartbeat might be sinking to the steps of a young wideout who's on the verge of making Soldier Field his personal stage. Here's the thing about a player like Rome Odunze. When you get one, you don't just get production. You get presence. That kind of presence that forces defensive backs to line up a yard deeper than they want to. That makes safeties cheat his way, opening lanes for guys like DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, and Dandre Swift to feast. You change how defenses play one guy, and you change the entire geometry of the field. And if he keeps stacking reps, keeps translating that training camp swagger into Sunday dominance, then we're talking about the Bears' offense in a way we haven't talked in decades. Because let's be real, the scars are there. We've seen too many next big things flame out. We've watched talent wither under bad schemes, QBs running for their lives, receivers turning into afterthoughts, unpredictable playbooks. But what if, just this once, the timing is perfect? Justin Fields, or whoever's under center, finally has a mix of weapons that demand respect. Luke Getsy's system, for all its ups and downs, is starting to get pieces that fit. And in the middle of it all, O'Duns could be the one who tilts it from promising to problems for every defensive coordinator in the league. Look back at the great eras in Bears history. The '85 team had Peyton, yes, but they also had Willie Gault stretching the field, forcing teams to defend every blade of grass. Brandon Marshall's run gave Jay Cutler his most productive seasons. Alshon Jeffrey's prime opened the door for other guys to shine. Now imagine O'Duns becoming that modern version, physical enough to bully a corner at the line, fast enough to win deep, disciplined enough to work the middle, and confident enough to demand the ball when it matters most. That's not just a weapon, that's a statement. And don't underestimate what that does to a locker room. When a young player plays with that kind of fire, veterans feed off it. A guy like DJ Moore, already a pro's pro, suddenly has a running mate who can take some of the coverage heat off him. Cole Kmet finds himself with more red zone opportunities because safeties can't just sit on him. Even the run game benefits when the box isn't stacked. And defensively, you think Montez Sweat and Tremaine Edmonds won't love trotting back out on the field after a quick strike touchdown that leaves the opponent stunned. That's momentum, and momentum is contagious. We've been starving for that. Think about the last few years. The defense has had to carry the weight, the offense grinding for every inch. No quick strikes. No home run threats that made the crowd erupt before the ball even hit the end zone. That's what O'Duns could bring back. That's what changes the vibe from we hope to we know. But it's not just about the highlight plays. It's about the grind. The Bears play in the NFC North. You've got to win in the cold, in the wind, in the kind of conditions where finesse players disappear. O'Duns' frame, his physical style, that willingness to take hits and keep coming, that's Chicago football. That's the DNA of a guy who can make his living here for a decade and own the city by the time he's 28. Of course, the NFL doesn't hand you anything. Corners will study him, try to take away his best routes. There will be games where the ball doesn't find him, where the easy headlines disappear, and that's when we'll find out if he's got that dog in him. But every sign so far, from his attitude in practice to his words about wanting to be one of the league's best, says this isn't a kid satisfied with just making it. He wants to define it. And here's where it all comes full circle. Chicago's had plenty of seasons where one side of the ball looked ready, but the other lagged behind. The defense is getting there. The O-line is improving. The QB question will always drive the narrative. But a receiver who can be a true number one, who can take over games, own matchups, and make the Bears' offense fear instead of pitied, that could be the piece that flips this whole thing. Because if O'Duns hits his stride, if the chemistry clicks and the scheme fits, then the Bears stop playing catch-up with the Lions and Packers and start setting the pace. They stop waiting for a lucky break and start breaking games wide open. They stop being a team that's fun to watch in spurts and start being a team you circle on the calendar because you know they're coming for your season. And isn't that what we've been waiting for? Not just hope, but proof. Not just potential, but payoff. A player who doesn't just fill a stat sheet, but forces the league to respect Chicago again. Ronald O'Duns might just be that guy. And if he is, Bears fans, we're about to find out what it feels like to believe in an offense the same way we believed in our defense for generations. The stage is set. The lights are coming on and the city is ready. All that's left now is for the kid to step into the moment and make it his.